Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are actually joined by Janelle Rawlston. Did I pronounce it correctly?
You
Janelle.
got it.
Awesome, awesome. I love it. Broker, associate, and team leader of Mosaic Real Estate Group at Campus Dallas, Texas. Janelle has more than 15 years of real estate experience, specializing in luxury homes, relocation, high-rise living, and senior real estate services. She combines a background in IT consulting and negotiations with a very high touch client experience, and her team has built a strong reputation across the Dallas market with dozens of five-star reviews and recognition from publications like D Magazine and Real Producers. Janelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Saeed. It's great to be here with you today. I'm excited.
Me as well, me as well. So before we jump into real estate, I saw that you're a sport fan, tennis player, traveler, and blue water sailing fan. That really sounds more interesting to me than most of real estate bios on the internet. So what's something
Yeah, me
people,
too.
yeah, exactly. What's something people would be surprised to learn more about you outside of real estate?
Let's see. I'm a huge heavy metal fan, and
Yeah.
my favorite band of all time is Metallica.
Wow. Wow. I love that.
Most people would not guess that by when they meet me or get to know me, but yes, that's my favorite genre of music.
I love that. I love that. Me as well. I kind of love Metallica, but not kind of, I would say, but I love kind of listening to Metallica as well. Love it. Love it. So tell me, you know, I know that you have been in Dallas since 1989, based on the
Mhm.
research that we have done. And, I think you have watched this city evolve dramatically. Dallas real estate has become one of the most talked about markets in the country. So what changes have you seen in Dallas over the years that you have had, that kind of had the biggest impact on real estate values and buyers' behavior?
Well, I mean, Dallas has always been a very active market and a
Mhm.
growing city. Way back, in the days when telecom was huge, and a lot of the telecom companies moved here, AT&T and T and Lucent, and all of those, made a huge impact for a while until that was no longer a thing.
Mhm.
And I think Dallas is pretty cyclical, like a lot of the rest of our markets in terms of whatever's happening. Like right now, a lot of tech companies are moving here. We have a lot of corporations coming in.
Mhm.
Um, and it kind of ebbs and flows with the economy and what's going on. But Dallas as a whole, I think, is just in a mode of continual growth. It's never really stopped. It has slowed down some when the economy, kind of contracts a little bit. But
Mhm.
we have a lot of companies still moving here on a day-to-day
Exactly.
basis. And I think that's one of the reasons why our real estate market is pretty steady and I wouldn't say immune from downturns and, slow times. We do slow down just like everybody else does, but
Exactly.
we also have a little better ability to kind of weather some of that just because of the sheer number of people that are moving here.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, 100%. I think you're right about that, Janelle. 100%. So let's talk about this luxury real estate psychology. So you have worked heavily in luxury real estate. I know that. So what do luxury buyers really care about today that maybe they didn't care about like 10 years ago? Like are buyers, prioritizing lifestyle more than it's just pure like, footage or, how is that? Let us know.
I think luxury buyers today are looking for experience,
Hmm.
the whole experience of the home. They want something that's turnkey. A
Hmm.
lot of luxury buyers right now are buying second or third homes here, and they spend just a portion of the year in Dallas. So they'll be
Exactly.
here for the good months of the year, which are typically fall or spring. They leave in the summer when it gets really hot.
Yeah.
So they want a home that feels like home, even though they're only here a short time. So
Mhm.
a lot of that's just turnkey, a lot of it's location based, a lot of it's amenities based. And we have a lot more movement. People move around a whole lot more in that category. So, our buyers that are moving here looking for high rises downtown are here, 4 months out of the year. When they're here, they want it to be awesome and fabulous and have access to sporting events and all the things that are going on here.
Exactly.
So that's a trend probably that we've seen more of recently than we used to. Just people buying second homes and moving more in that category and not just I'm here in a single family house forever.
Exactly.
So that's an up and coming trend.
Makes sense. Perfect. Yeah, exactly. I love that answer, actually. I love it. So, I know that you have had a transition from, IT consulting to real estate. So, I just wanted to know you came from an IT consulting, position and negotiation background before real estate. How has that shaped the way you negotiate and work with clients? That's something that I think would be pretty important. So, let us know.
Well, it's true. I mean, we do negotiate on the behalf of our clients with the person on the other side of the transaction,
Hmm.
but on a day-to-day basis, I have to negotiate with my clients too.
Exactly.
Price changes, adjustments for the market, expectations, and helping them figure out how to navigate through the negotiations that we're going through, keeping emotions, it's really hard sometimes. And real estate can be very emotional. And sometimes those emotions take you away from what your goal really is.
Or
And
should
so it's
be.
just, working with them to bring them back to center and understand, here's what the goal is, here's the best way to negotiate through that. And same thing, I negotiate with my clients all the time on, hey, we've got to make an adjustment on our price, which is never a really exciting conversation, but you have to have those conversations
I
to
agree.
help your clients win. You can't just ignore what's going on in the market.
I think you're 100% right, Jenna. Like buying a home, that's a tough and big decision. Like, and people are going to pay a lot. Some people can be emotional about it. And I think it would be that's why I think it's super important to work with a professional agent like you, Jenna. Like you gotta kind of, put them in the right direction, tell them that, hey, if this decision is right or wrong, and this is the reason, you gotta do the math for them. And I think you're 100% right. I love it. Cool. So building a team, that's something I realized that you're not an individual agent. You lead this Mosaic Real Estate Group. And, I just wanted to know what makes building a real estate team difficult. What separates a good real estate team from a chaotic one. So let us know about that.
I think a lot of it is building a team is hard because you have a lot of different personalities on a team. You have a
Mhm.
lot of different skill levels. You have a lot of different needs and different roles, and making sure that people are staying in the right lane and doing the things that they need to do for their position on the team, for us all to row in the same direction
Mhm.
is difficult sometimes. And just knowing that, everybody needs to do their job.
Exactly.
And, if they're doing their job and I'm doing my job, then we're going to make progress.
Exactly.
Because if we're all doing the same thing, we're not going to go very far. So I think a lot of it is that just knowing what their role is, making sure they're successful in what their particular role is on the team. And
Hmm.
then a lot of it too is just accountability, and coming together, knowing what we're working on, our projects and what you're accountable for, and making sure that, we're all in sync pretty much. We have a coach, we work with a coach who coaches our team also. And that makes a huge difference for the success of everybody on our team,
Hmm.
and making sure that if they need help, whatever, if my team lead or my team coordinator needs help with, projects and
Exactly.
deadlines and timelines, or if I need help with leadership, or if an agent on my team needs help with, hey, I'm struggling to, with some ideas for postcards or my geographic farm or whatever. that has made a huge difference for us.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I love that the part that you have mentioned accountability and they just need to know what they have to do. What is their role in this team? I love that. I love that. You're right about it. One thing that really I think stood out about your brand is this idea of combining high tech with high touch service. What does that actually look like in practice? How do you create that calmness for clients during what is actually a stressful process? So I just wanted to know how you actually handle that.
Yeah. We have, and every agent at Compass has access to the same tools that we do. We have everything organized for our clients on a single dashboard.
Mhm,
So if you're buying a house with us, all the houses you're looking at are accessed there. Or if you're selling, same thing. Your market comps and competition. We have all our documents are loaded up there, all our timelines, so you can see things being checked off and things happening in real time. And that's great for technology, and that's the tech part of that.
mhm.
We come behind that with personal touches all along the way. So we send reminders to our clients. We're calling them. My team coordinators sending them reminders on utilities, or hey,
Mhm.
you've got to do this, or hey, you need to make sure that, have you gotten in touch with, so and so, the HOA or whatever. So we rely heavily on technology to keep things organized for them
Mhm.
and in front of them anytime they need them. At the same time, we have touch points identified all along the way where the agent or the team coordinator or I are reaching out to them and touching base on what's coming up this week, or hey,
Mhm.
this is due, or hey, a reminder for whatever's happening, so that we don't let them just feel like they're out there all by themselves. So we try and make sure that we get to them both ways. They know
Yeah.
we're always there. They can always look things up online anytime they want, but at the same time, they're hearing from us all along the way.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I love that. You are kind of letting them know, hey, you're here throughout the whole process. That's kind of give them that confidence and that calmness to continue the process rather than just being stressful. I love that.
Yeah.
So you're specialized in relocation. I know that. So are people still moving into Dallas at the pace they were like a few years ago?
Yes. Short answer, yes.
Hmm.
Long answer, just this last month, for example, I have a client moving here from Maryland. I have a client moving here from New Jersey. I have a
Hmm.
client that moved here from Florida. And I'm currently working with another client moving here from, got that. I just talked with him yesterday. So yes, I'd say probably
So the
25% of the clients that I work with are relocating
wow,
here from somewhere else. So,
awesome. I
and
love
that
it.
a lot of that has to do with the network that we have of the agents that we know around the country. So, through my coaching program and through Compass,
Mhm.
those referrals come in from other agents that we know around the country that, called me and said, hey, I've got a client, that's moving here, moving to Dallas from New Jersey. Can you help Wanda find a house? It's like, absolutely. So we find that, because of the referral network we have, that is a good portion of our business. But
Yeah, I
I would say
love it.
overall, generally, yes, people are moving to Dallas from all over the
Exactly.
place.
I've heard about this from a lot of agents. I think you're right. But also tell me what are the out of states out of state buyers that they usually get shocked by and when they move to actually Texas and Dallas. Is there anything specific that they get surprised by?
Um, how friendly people are would be one.
Yeah, that's
People
a nice
here
one.
are very friendly. And I've had people move here and go, God, everybody says hi to me. I'm walking down the street, all these people are telling me hi, and I don't get that. It's like, well, that's just what we do here. Um, I would say that. And then the other thing I think that some people, and I mean, I think most people understand a little bit about it before they move here, but property taxes here sometimes are a concern for people moving from other states because Texas handles their property taxes a little bit differently and all the nuances and things like that involved with property values and taxation here sometimes take a little bit for people to wrap their head around.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're 100% right about it. Yes, yes. I love that thing actually. It kind of gave me the feel, hey, I should kind of come and visit. And I think
Absolutely. Everybody here is very friendly. So,
yeah, I love that. That's something that people would love. That positive vibe of people kind of saying hi, everybody kind of, talking to your neighbors. I love that. I think that's something that would be super important to a lot of people. Cool. I love it. So, you have mentioned about your communities and your network. I know that you also work with senior real estate transition, and you have like, a bit more than plus 50 like, communities. I think that's a very, emotional process for families. So how do you approach those situations differently? So I just want to know about this kind of specialized services that you have about it. Do they kind of act emotionally? If yes, what kind of a reaction?
yeah, I'm part of Compass Plus, which is a division in Compass that's dedicated to the senior residential market, which they call over 55, but I think that people at 55 don't think they're in a senior residential market normally.
Yeah.
But a lot of our clients, just because of the areas that we work in,
Mhm.
those senior residential real estate transactions a lot of times are just people that are stuck
Mhm.
because they either don't have the help that they need, or their families are far away, or they've been in their house so long they just really can't imagine what it's going to take to move. And a
Mhm.
lot of times they have to. A lot of times they're in a situation where they really need to move. A lady that had lived in her house for 36 years but hadn't been able to go upstairs for the last 3 years.
Wow.
And, you know, in a really bad situation with repairs and things happening up there. And so you just have to approach those situations really with a lot of patience,
Wow.
a lot of
Patience.
knowledge and understanding where those people are coming from and what they may be feeling and dealing with. Sometimes they have family nearby, sometimes they don't. And so they lean on you a lot for a little bit of emotional support too. We can do this. We've done it before. We can help you. We're going to do it together. And really takes a little bit more of a hands-on approach sometimes because it has been such a long time, maybe that since they've moved. Um, I don't know. What am I going to do with all my stuff? How am I going
Exactly.
to handle all this?
Yeah.
So they tend to ask a lot more questions. They tend to ask a lot, or they need more help.
Mhm.
And that's, you know, it's a very rewarding um, part of what I do when I see
Mhm.
somebody like that we can come in and really provide a whole solution for their lifestyle and where they're moving to and where they're moving from. It tends to be a lot more whole picture, well-rounded versus, hey, I just want to go buy a house. For
Exactly.
them, it's a health need, it's a lifestyle need, it's a all of those things packaged all together.
Yeah, I love the answer. Like, patient, you gotta be patient and you must have the knowledge to approach to these kind of things. So I love the answer, 100% right about it. So, as last question, Janelle, I need you to tell me if someone was buying a home in Dallas today, or, let's talk about both buyer and sellers, or if they're trying to sell their home in Dallas, what is the biggest piece of advice you would give them to both buyers and sellers? Let us know.
Um, the market doesn't lie.
Mm,
A lot of times I have clients and everybody has their own time for coming around and realization of where things are, but The market itself here it's like anywhere else. It changes every day,
Exactly.
ups, downs, swings, back and forth. But we work really hard at helping our clients stay in touch with the data and what the market's showing us. And when the
Hmm.
market tells you, hey, you've got to make some adjustments, you need to listen because the market, the data, everything happening, all the things that we see every day on the ground here, it's real. And,
Mhm.
you can pretend that it doesn't exist or that it's
Yeah.
not you or it's just your neighbor or
Yeah.
whatever. But I think that's the biggest piece of advice is, you have to listen to the market and pay attention to what it's telling you.
Exactly. And by listening to market, I think what you really mean is that listening to your agent. Like she is the professional person here. Like, because I've seen a lot of people, they will be like, hey, why should I kind of go to the agent or kind of pay, this kind of commission to that person? My cousin is an agent I can use. I'm like, good luck with that.
Yes, well, everybody knows four or five realtors. I mean,
Exactly.
honestly, your neighbor, your cousin, your aunt, your whoever.
Exactly.
But if you have a good agent who's in touch with the market and knows what they're doing, then yes, you need to hire someone like that instead of
Exactly.
your
Exactly.
cousin who sells a house every once in a while.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. You're 100% right. So, Janelle, for people who want to connect with you right now, learn more about Dallas real estate or follow your work online, where is the best place to find you and get in touch with you?
We're everywhere. We're on all of the social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, everywhere. If you look at Mosaic RE Group, you will find us. I'm Janelle Rawlston at Compass, and our website is dallasmosaic.com.
I love that, Janelle. Thank you so much for being here, Janelle. We will have a short conversation after that, but I really appreciate it and I really enjoyed your answer. I think this is going to be one of my favorite episodes, honestly.
Well, I'm very excited to be here with you today, and I appreciate the opportunity and the conversation with you. I've enjoyed very much.
Thank you so much. Let me hit the pause.